Hey there, today I'm going to give you an introduction to Google Calendar. After you've logged into Google, go ahead and go up to your Google Apps menu and choose Calendar from the list. Once it loads up, you'll see your main view over here on the right area, and you'll see a small calendar up to the left that'll show you the month view. Just below that, you'll see under your My Calendar section an area with your name. This will be your calendar. You'll also see birthdays and reminders and any other calendars that you've added. If you don't see this sidebar area, it's possible that it might be hidden. Clicking up on the main menu icon in the top left will either hide or show this area. You can change your view by using one of the several controls they have here. You can go to a previous week or the next week and back. You can search for events using the drop-down. You can even filter down your results. Under this drop-down in the top right, you can change your view, either to a day view, week, month, year, 4 days, or a schedule view. To create an event, you can either click on the big red plus circle down in the bottom right, or you can highlight the date and time on your calendar where you want the meeting or appointment to occur. You'll get a notification box that pops up and asks you to set a title. We'll just call it meeting. You can set whether this is an event, a reminder, or an appointment slot. Appointment slots are really only relevant if you publish your calendar. It'll automatically set the date and time that you've highlighted. Choosing save, and you're done. You also have the option, when making a meeting, to choose more options. This will allow you to customize virtually every aspect about this meeting, from the start time and date to the end time and date, and even the time zone. You can choose whether it's an all-day event or the repetition of the event. We can add a location to the event to get a link on Google Maps, or we can even add web conferencing. We can change our default notification timeline, or if multiple people have shared calendars with us, we can choose what calendar we want this event to go on. We can let people know if we're going to be busy during this time or free. And we can change the appointment visibility. By default, your visibility is public to everyone that you share your calendar with specifically. Choosing private means that only people who have edit access to your calendar will be able to see this event. We can customize the event description. We can even add more guests. All you have to do is just start typing in the name of the guest, and once you choose it, they'll automatically be put down below here. This silhouette icon over here on the right toggles between required and optional attendance. We can choose down below what all guests can do to our event, and if we want, we can even set what room we want this event to take place in. Let's add a couple more guests. Now that we've added a couple more people, we can choose Find a Time up here on the left. Find a Time will search between the calendars of every guest that you've added to this event. Some people, we have view access to their calendars, so we can see what events they're having. For Derek, we don't have view access to his calendar, so his events just show up as busy for us. We do have view access to Robert's, but he's marked an event as private, which is why it still shows up as busy. It looks like today at 3 p.m. is the best time for most people, so we'll go ahead and we'll schedule that. We can come back to event details, and for Erica, since she is not available, we can mark her as optional. Let's go ahead and send that. It's going to ask if we want to send invitations to guests, and we'll go ahead and say yes. Now this notification came up because Robert has set his working hours to not work today. But that's okay, we'll go ahead and we'll send it anyway. Now that we've saved the event, we can go ahead and click on Test Event here, and it gives us kind of a bird's eye view of the different information about the meeting. We can see that I've organized it, that Derek and Mohammed have already said that they can be at this meeting, Robert has said a maybe, which is what the great question mark means, and Erica has declined it. So now up at the very top, I have options. I can either delete the event, email the guests, or under the options menu, I can print, duplicate, publish the event, or even change the owner. I'll go ahead and I'll email the guests. Up here at the top, I have the option of filtering down to only include people who say that they can go or are a maybe. So I can go ahead and I can send an email like that. And it's done. If anyone was joining in remotely, they could click this link right here to join into the web conference. Now if we look at our calendar, it looks like we've got a couple items here that have their colors inversed. What this means is that this is an event we've been invited to, but we haven't said whether we're going. Let's go ahead and take a look at this event. So we can see this event is scheduled for Thursday at 8 o'clock in the welding lab in Building 10, and it was organized by Derek. I'll say yes, I'll go to that. And down here, we'll check on this one. This is a department meeting. In the guest list, you can also add groups. And in this case, our entire department has been added. I'm still not sure if I'm able to make this one, so I'll go ahead and I'll select maybe. Events you've selected as maybe have this kind of hatched look to them. Inside of Google Calendar, we can check our coworkers' calendars. To add a coworker's calendar, just come over to this box underneath of the month view on the left. As you type in the name of one of your coworkers, you'll see it appear right here. And it's just that simple. Now Robert has already elected to share his calendar with me, which is why this immediately pops up. But if I go to add someone that hasn't, like Derek, we'll see that all we see is busy information. So we can see what time he has events, but we can't see any of the details. I'll go ahead and I'll add a couple more coworkers. Now that I've added a couple more, the calendar's looking a little busy. I can always hide any calendars that I don't want to see, or under the options menu for any calendar, you have the option to display this calendar only, and that will turn off all of the other ones. You also have the option under the day view to see all of your coworkers' calendars side by side. To share your calendar with people, come up to the gear icon in the top right and choose Settings. In your settings, you can customize your calendar to your preferences, including setting your custom view, warning people when they try to schedule an event outside of your working hours, or setting up mobile alerts through text message. Now, back to sharing your calendar. If you come over and you click on your calendar, here on the left, you have an option down here under Share with Specific People to add other people. In this case, I can share it with a specific person or with a group. I'll go ahead and I'll share it with a couple people. Now under permissions, I can choose whether they can see all event details, free or busy only, which is turned on by default, or make changes to events, or even manage the sharing. I'll go ahead and I'll set it to see all event details. After they've been added, I can go ahead and I can change their access level from the drop down here to the right. Or if I don't want them to have access anymore, I can just click the X button. It looks like we're 10 minutes out from the meeting that I set at the very beginning of the video. Since our Google Calendar default is a 10-minute prior notification, my browser automatically pauses and sends me this notification. Now to show you an example of how it looks when different people give you different access to their calendars, Erica has gone ahead and shared her calendar with me to manage the sharing settings. What that means is that it brings this calendar up from my other calendars into the list of my calendars, since I have full access to them. If I go back and I change my view to a week view, what this means is that in a time slot, I can choose now which calendar I want this to go on. I'll make this event for Erica. And it's just as simple as that. If I want to remove a calendar, it's as easy as choosing unsubscribe from the X button. Setting a reminder is just as easy. Make sure you have your reminders box checked, and then highlight when you want your reminder to happen. Choose Reminder, give it a title, select whether you want it to repeat or if it's an all-day reminder, and choose Save. If you'd prefer, instead of reminders, you can switch to tasks. Tasks allows you to build a list of items that you want to do, and you can set what times you want them to happen at. You can have multiple lists and lots of different actions that you can do with your lists. One last thing, we can also customize our view of what we're looking at by highlighting a day and dragging across what we want to see. It will automatically change our view to that selection. If we're ever looking at another day, and if we hit today, it'll bring us right back. I hope you enjoyed this intro to Google Calendar. If you have any questions, my contact information is down below. Thanks and have a great day.